It is happening. Members of the elected class are being indicted for doing their jobs. This is the Trump war on elected representation. Democratic Congresswoman indicted on 3 charges because of a heated ICE protest. Now, I'm going to give you the background and an update. So she's been indicted, Representative LaMonica McIver, on multiple charges after federal prosecutors said she forcibly impeded and interfered with federal law enforcement officers during a protest at a detention facility last month. So on May 9th, a good representative, Democrat out of New Jersey, and other members of Congress embarked on a congressional oversight visit that coincided with an immigration protest at an Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, detention facility in New Jersey. As authorities tried to arrest the mayor of Newark, authorities said that the Congresswoman blocked the federal agents, put arms around the mayor, physically engaged with officers, slamming her forearm into one officer and grabbing another. Now, I want to back up to the first proclamation of the report. Why are they there? Why is Congress there? Why are members of Congress there? They are engaged in the work of oversight. That work of oversight is not simply a statutory allowance. It is a constitutional mandate. This is their co-equal branch opportunity when no other branch is willing to work with them. There's more. 10 days. 10 days later, Donald Trump, interim U.S. attorney for the district, Alina Habba, said she would dismiss trespassing charges against Mayor Baraka, but would file more serious charges against McIver. Now, why do you think that is? Okay. So this is political ploy at its grandest. Once again, this is what happens when we hire a talk show host to become president of the United States. Everything's a game. Tuesday evening, Habba said a grand jury indicted the Congresswoman on 3 charges that carry a maximum sentence of 17 years in federal prison. The commander overseeing U.S. military operations in Los Angeles said yesterday that troops deployed to LA can temporarily detain individuals if necessary. Keep his picture up. Well, Master, you are in deep violation of constitutional interpretation, normality, and understanding. The military is not a domestic police force. We've been through this. We saw the other side of it. Individuals who are trained to kill are not trained to detain. In an interview with ABC News and the AP, Associated Press, Major General Scott Sherman, the commander of Joint Task Force 51, also said that about 500 National Guard troops who have been trained to accompany Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents on raids in order to provide them with force of protection. Quote, we're there to protect their federal officers, their federal personnel, Sherman said in the interview. Quote, we're there to protect them so that they can do their job. If those personnel are assaulted, Sherman said, soldiers or Marines are allowed to take that person, detain them in place, wait for the federal law enforcement officer to come and arrest that individual. Now, if the military expert, if the Major General here was on good, solid legal footing, why the complex handoff? Because he's not. He's not. He's trying to define it, push it, and then cross the boundary, just as Trump has did with everything else. Sherman told ABC News that around 500 guardsmen have also received a specific training to accompany ICE on immigration raid operations to provide them only with force protection and are not carrying out law enforcement duties. Obviously, everybody's going to follow the rules. We're not going to have any issue with that directive whatsoever. On TikTok, one uses dispelling the media myths about the LA protests. Here it is.
My grandma, who only watches Fox News, she called me today. She said, "You need to get out of LA. LA is burning. Aren't you scared?" Meanwhile, this is what's going on in LA. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. I got snacks. Sometimes people look at me crazy when I say I live in downtown LA, and they're like, "Aren't you scared to live there?" Tell me you don't get it without telling me you don't get it. Show me a city that shows up to defend its citizens the way LA shows up to defend its citizens.
Black community will always stand in solidarity. We're not going to get out of the streets until ICE are out of our streets. Ain't that right? ICE out of LA.
ICE out of LA.
It is literally a love fest. Diverse coalition, individuals who may disagree on other things but agree on the main things. It looks like progress. It looks like the America that can be rather than the America that is. Activists are planning more and even larger demonstrations in the coming days with No Kings. That's an event across the country on Saturday to coincide with Trump's planned military parade through Washington. Military parade for a man. The Trump administration said it would continue its program of raids and deportations despite protest. Quote, ICE will continue to enforce the law. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem posted Tuesday on social media. Members of the Texas National Guard have been deployed to San Antonio in anticipation of protests this week in the city as U.S. immigration and customs enforcement officers continue to conduct what they call raids. San Antonio Police Department Assistant Chief Jesse Salami confirmed to KSAT on Tuesday that Governor Greg Abbott sent the members to San Antonio. Now you have state-to-state conspiracy. 75 Democrats broke ranks on Monday, joining Republicans in voting for a House resolution condemning anti-Semitism and expressing gratitude for immigration and customs enforcement and other law enforcement personnel. Now, to those 75 Democrats, you may think it was harmless because it's not really an enforceable resolution. It doesn't change the law. Well, what it does is it changes the narrative. It pulls your card and it shows what price you have. If we're going to do this, how about we put in the resolution, don't be anti-Black and don't be anti-LGBTQ. Don't be anti-Hispanic. Don't be anti. Won't do that, will you? I thought you all didn't like diversity, equity, and inclusion. It's a damn shame. Of the 212 Democrats in the House, 113 voted against the resolution, which was introduced by Republican Representative Gabe Evans. 75 Democrats voted in favor of the measure, including Joe. The district in which the Boulder attack occurred, 6 lawmakers, 5 Democrats, 1 Republican. voted present. If you were going to do anything, just vote present and move on. You are literally confirmed it. All right, Wozni, it's going from bad to I can't believe it got this bad.
So much of what these guys in the Trump administration do is for effect, is bluster, is fake show of strength, is fake bravado. And then their messaging is always, well, we have the full support of every American ever to do some of the most incredibly unpopular, unconstitutional, anti-democratic, authoritarian maneuvers that we've ever seen. And I think it's important for people to understand that Stephen Miller, the architect of this Trump deportation regime, is himself a California native. In fact, he's from Santa Monica, California. I happen to live here in the city of Los Angeles. My office is in Arts District, downtown LA, not far from where a lot of the protests are. So, we're pretty close to what's happening here. And the depiction of DTLA or LA in itself, like if you've never been here and you don't really have a conceptual idea of the scale, these protests and problems are confined to a really small segment of the city. This isn't some huge, massive uprising. It's, this dedicated area near the ICE detention center, which needs to be bare mentioning. Like they're doing it, excuse me, they're doing it at the epicenter of the deportation operation. And I think it's important for people to understand too that Donald Trump doesn't have the authority to call the National Guard. That's supposed to be the governor that asked for this. He's supposed to be in charge, commander in chief of the California National Guard. And two, the last time this happened in LA was 1992 for the Rodney King riots, which y'all could look it up on YouTube. It wasn't no kumbaya singing and dancing in the streets, guys. Like it was a genuine riot and citizen uprising. Like literally the opposite of what's happening right now. But the Trump administration, and again, Stephen Miller specifically, he got in a room with some ICE leaders. He literally told them to stop looking for convicted criminals and go to the Home Depots. Go to the restaurants.
Yep.
Go literally just gather up any undocumented migrant or citizen for that matter you can find and make a stink. And it feels like this was just a pretext to pick a fight. Like there's no, the LAPD, I promise you, are not afraid of a fight with the citizens. I promise you. Right. They would have been more than happy to do this on their own. They got all this military gear. A lot of times you can't even tell the difference between the freaking National Guard and the LAPD, the way these dudes is dressed up in riot gear and all kinds of AK-47s and all of that. I think this was deliberately done to pick a fight, and it's obvious.
Yeah, and they are going to continue to do so. We'll bring you updates as they come.